Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage Jeff Burnstein, President for the Association for Advancing Automation.
Good evening, everyone. I didn't quite hear that. Good evening, everyone. I hope you've all enjoyed Automate 2025 so far, which is the largest Automate show ever held. And thank all of you here for making this show such a great success. I know you'll enjoy tonight's celebration of this year's Engelberger Award winners. For those of you who aren't aware, the Engelberger Award is named after Joseph Engelberger, who's known throughout the world as the father of robotics. And the Engelberger Award has become the robotics industry's most prestigious honor. Many people refer to it as the Nobel Prize of Robotics. As a previous recipient, I can personally say that winning the Engelberger Award was truly the highlight of my career. After tonight, there will be 141 Engelberger Award winners, dating back to the inception of the award in 1977. Before we meet this year's winners, I'd like to ask each of the past Engelberger Award winners who are in the audience to join me on stage tonight and briefly introduce themselves. So may I have previous Engelberger Award winners join me now?
My name is Dick Hone, and I was the recipient in 1980 of the Engelberger Award. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Don Vincent. I won the award in 2002 and was presented to me in Stockholm, Sweden. So it is like the Nobel Prize.
Hi, I'm Mike Jacobs. I won the Engelberger Award in 2022 in leadership.
I'm Melanie Wise. I won the award, I think, in 2022 for technology. I'm the baby of the group. Hi.
I'm Brian Carlisle. I've been doing robotics for 50 years now. Joe Engelberger was my first boss. His daughter, Gay Engelberger, worked for us out there in California for many years. And I've certainly still very active in robotics and really enjoy the field. And it's a pleasure to see, how the business has grown over the last few years and how this particular show has grown from, maybe a couple thousand attendees now to over 40,000 attendees. So it's been very rewarding. Thank you.
Good night. My name is Pierre de Smet from Dialogue. I won the award, I think, in 2003, although I forgot a little bit. But I know it was in Paris that I got the award, and that's why I'm faking up the French accent right now, because I think it's quite appropriate. But thank you very much. Have a good night.
I guess I'm the shortest one. My name is Joe Gemma. I won the award in 2024 for leadership. I'd like to say that was the highlight of my career, but the real highlight of my career was meeting Jeff Burnstein.
And as you know, I'm Jeff Burnstein. I won the award for leadership in 2023. I'm very grateful that I'm no longer the shortest award winner. Let's have a final round of applause for all of our previous Engelberger. Now, to help introduce this year's award recipients, I'd like to invite to the stage Lou Finazzo, Vice President of Sales at Fanuc Robotics America and Chair of A3's Robotics Technology Strategy Board, and Don Vincent, A3's Executive Vice President Emeritus. Lou, Don?
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start off by saying I've never won anything. But it's a privilege to be here tonight. It's a great honor for me to be able to present the Engelberger Award winners. And from my perspective, the class that is on that stage is incredible. So we're going to start this evening in the category of education, but I do have a little kerfuffle. Everybody know what a kerfuffle is? So my kerfuffle is I don't know if I can do it without my glasses, and I don't want to make a mistake because the recipient of this award has an incredible amount of accomplishment. So what I have to do is actually kind of read it a little bit, so I apologize for that. I intended to have it memorized and do it much more smooth, so I'm going to read it. It'll go faster that way, though. The recipient for education category is Dr. Peter Corke. He's a distinguished professor emeritus at Queensland University of Technology, where he co-founded the robotics discipline, which has grown to be one of the largest robotics research and teaching groups in Australia. Prior to that, he worked for the National Research Agency, and then he founded and was the founding director of the Autonomous Systems Lab. His early work focused on automation of underground and surface mining equipment and farm vehicles, Internet of Things, visual inertial navigation of flying and underwater drones, that's a mouth, that's a lot, and mobile manipulation. He holds several patents, is currently the chief roboticist for robot packing company Lero Robotics, a technical advisor to drone mapping company Emicent. 2 pages. No, incredible. Dr. Corke is a fellow of the IEEE, the Australian Academy of Technology and Engineering, and the Australian Academy of Science, former editor-in-chief of the IEEE Robotics Automation magazine. So he's got an incredible amount of track record. With that said, I'm going to let Don Vincent share some very important facts.
Thank you, Lou. Once again, I'm happy to be here to help celebrate 2 award winners this year. I've been doing this for quite a few years now, and I'm always intrigued by the answers I get when I ask a question about what does winning this award mean to you, and also what kind of hobbies do these winners participate in. Dr. Peter Corke, truly a man who has contributed to the education of so many people around the world. Here's some of Peter's replies to the questions I asked him, like winning the award. He said, "It means an awful lot. So many well-known roboticists have won this award. It's great to be in their company." Secondly, his proudest accomplishment is the book that he wrote, Robotics in Vision and Control. It's a practitioner's perspective of what's important in robotics. His book uses code and to illustrate robotic principles. And in Dr. Corke's own words, he said, "Robots are nothing without software." Next, his biggest aspiration, and he said it may sound audacious, but he'd like to teach robotics to the whole world. And finally, on a philosophy about robotics, Peter said, "My approach to teaching, whether in a classroom or through a book, is to start with real-world problems and use that to make a case for theory." He said, "In my experience, front-loading with theory is not too successful these days with students." Now, here's where he surprised me. I said, "What kind of hobbies do you participate in?" You know what he said? He said, "Coding. It's very relaxing and very comforting." That's quite a hobby. He also is a big reader. He likes to read history of technology going back a couple of hundred years. Plus, he reads a lot of fiction and mystery-type things. So with all that, now we'll see a video about Dr. Peter Corke.
I was born in Melbourne, Australia in 1959. That's the same year that Joe Engelberger and George Devol put their first prototype robot into a factory in New Jersey. The company Unimation was founded about 2 years later. I was a geeky kid growing up in the 1960s, and I was obsessed with the space program. I wanted to be an astronaut. My parents gave me this book about robots, which may have had some long-term subconscious effect on me. As a teenager, I was really into electronics, and at that time, that mostly meant radios with vacuum tubes and transistors. By my mid-teens, it was digital electronics with integrated circuits, and by my late teens, I built my first microprocessor kit, terribly underpowered by modern standards. It was a no-brainer to study electrical engineering, and I went to the University of Melbourne, and I got really interested in control theory. My first job was at the same university, working for my controls professor, and that's where I discovered real-time computing. This was using digital equipment, PDP-11 and LSI-11 hardware. For an open day, I connected a cheap and cheerful mini-mover robot to an LSI-11 and got it to play checkers. That really piqued my interest in robotics, and not long after that, I got a job with Australia's national lab, CSIRO, working on flexible manufacturing cells. This was the mid-1980s. The lab had just been set up and had state-of-the-art gear like a Unimation Puma 560 and an Automatics AutoVision 2 vision system. In 1988, I won a fellowship to spend nearly a year at the University of Pennsylvania's GRASP lab, and there I was really fortunate to be able to work with Professor Lou Paul. I was nearly 30, I was the old guy in a lab full of grad students, and at that time I didn't have a PhD. When I returned to Australia, I started my own PhD, and that was about combining high-speed computer vision and robotics. I wrote lots of MATLAB code to support my research, and that eventually became the robotics toolbox for MATLAB. In 1995, I moved to Brisbane to apply robotic technology to the mining industry. We automated dragline excavators for open pit mining. By the late 90s, we were doing fully autonomous underground driving. We did early work on aerial drones, navigating using visual and inertial sensing. These were hobby-class helicopters, not the electric quad-rotor drones that we have today. We applied those same inertial and visual navigation techniques to underwater drones. I'd worked on applied robotics research for 25 years when I was offered a professorial position at the Queensland University of Technology in 2010. I took a gap year before the new job to travel and to write a textbook. I've always liked explaining things, and as a robotics practitioner, I thought that code was no less important than maths. The book could leverage the robotics and vision toolboxes that by now are around 20 years old and fairly mature. Computer vision had been a really important part of all the robotic systems I'd built over the previous 25 years. So I really believed that any modern textbook on robotics had to include a decent treatment of computer vision. Writing the book was hard, but it was a labor of love, and it was published in 2011. As a new professor, there was a lot to be done, creating new undergraduate courses, recruiting graduate students, setting up labs, and writing grant proposals. In 2014, we were fortunate to win a grant for a Centre of Excellence in Robotic Vision, combining my two favourite things. This was a 7-year grant in partnership with 3 other Australian universities, and I was the centre director. In the 2010s, there was a lot of interest in MOOCs, massive open online courses. Smart people were saying that they were going to transform university education as we knew it. In 2015, my university supported the development of 2 6-week MOOCs, one on robotics and one on computer vision. These no longer run as MOOCs, but most of the assets are available freely online at the QUT Robot Academy, and they continue to be very popular with students from all over the globe. In 2017, I received the Australian University Teacher of the Year Award, which recognised a portfolio of work that included open source software, the textbook, and the online teaching resources. During the pandemic lockdown, I worked with 2 of my students to rewrite the old MATLAB toolboxes into Python. The MATLAB code was by now 30 years old, which is a very long time for any piece of software. Python was entrenched as the most popular programming language, it was fully open source, and it has an amazing ecosystem of packages. An update to my textbook was due, and that actually resulted in 2 third editions. One, with colleagues from the MathWorks, uses MATLAB and their recent toolboxes, not my old open source ones. The second, using the new Python toolboxes, made it possible to rewrite the book with all the example code written in Python. It's been an amazing journey. I certainly didn't set out to be a teacher, But the various resources that I've created through my career have influenced many, many people. I actually don't know how many, but I do get lots of nice emails, and people come and chat to me at conferences and say nice things. Writing a textbook is a sub-minimum wage endeavor. It's the positive feedback from readers that makes it all worthwhile. So in that vein, I am totally delighted to be the recipient of the 2025 Engelberger Award for Education.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Firstly, I sincerely thank the association for this great honour. Joe Engelberger was a legend in our field. The little company that he and George Devol started some 60 years ago has turned into a massive industry. It's the reason that we're all here in Detroit. So it's incredibly humbling to win this award that's named in his honour. My big regret is I never met Joe Engelberger. I never had a chance to talk with him. I would very much like to have done that. Look, many awesome robotics educators have come before me in this particular category. Some of the more recent ones are friends and colleagues, but some of the older ones are the people who wrote the textbooks that I learned robotics from, which is pretty awesome. And I would really like to mention one particular early winner, and that's Professor Richard Paul, or Lou Paul, to those who knew him. Sadly, Lou passed away last year, but he was a tremendous influence on me personally and on my career. I owe the man an awful lot. I think the association deserves real kudos for sponsoring an education award. Our industry is rapidly growing. It's going to need to train and develop a lot of human talent if it's going to continue growing and to sustain itself. AI won't do it for us. We're going to need to train real human beings to build the systems that we want to build. There's an interesting comparison, I think, with the field of computer science. Computing is only a decade older than robotics. Every university in the world has a computer science program. Very few universities in the world have a robotics program. Robotics is still balkanized across mech-eng, electrical engineering, and computer science, and that's not healthy for future growth of the field. Listen, there are tons of people to thank: my students, my academic colleagues, readers, and viewers of my material from all around the world. I would observe that writing a textbook is very hard work, but living with a writer, I think, is even harder work. So my final thanks are to my wife, Philippa. She's with me tonight, who's supported me through 3 books. Thank you to everybody.
The recipient this year of the Leadership Award is Stu Shepherd, the co-founder and the president of Shepherd Solutions, an industry consulting firm. His experience includes automation, integration, roles at General Motors, and sales and top leadership at Fanuc America, KUKA, Google, Universal. Any others? No. So he's been around, so we all know him pretty well. Additionally, he has held important consulting roles at Gain & Company and How To Robot. Stu is the past chair of the RIA and A3 and is currently serving on the A3 Tech Board as a member, and is also active in the R15 Safety Committee. Stu Shepherd's major contributions to RIA and A3 include helping create the Certified Robot Integrator Program, as well as paving the way for artificial intelligence in companies, a major constituencies to our association. He's definitely a mentor and an ambassador for our group and for the industry. Now Don's going to mention some more key facts about Stu.
It's my pleasure to share some insight about Stu Shepherd, a true leader and mentor in our industry. Here's the answer Stu gave me. Winning the award is an incredible honor, he said. It's an affirmation of my journey as a leader in the robotics industry. I've always believed that if you keep doing the right things to empower teams to act on the real voice of the customer, then you can accomplish great things together. As for his proudest accomplishments, Stu says, I've had an extremely interesting and fast challenging career with an ever-expanding network of great friends and incredible opportunities. In the future, he wants to continue to have fun and be useful in solving robotics market development challenges, especially for non-traditional or emerging markets, and also to assist others in reaching their professional goals in the robotics industry. I asked about some advice for people looking to have robotics as a career. He mentioned first robotics, and then attending schools with a strong STEM program, and then the importance of developing a relationship with people that are active in this industry by connecting with the association and participating in automation industry events. He says networking and finding mentors are both key. My final question dealt with Stu's hobbies and how he spends his leisure time. Stu and his wife, Michelle, enjoy their time together traveling, as well as music and photography are other interests. Lastly, Stu says he's a gearhead, spending time watching auto racing and getting his toy, which I found out was a special-built, brand new Corvette. And he likes to get it out of the garage and make noise in the neighborhood. So with that, we'll now see a video about Stu Shepherd.
In Christmas 1967, I got a toy robot, and it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of mileage out of it, but over time we started having problems with it breaking down. Frequently had to fix it to keep it alive, so I started learning at an early age what reliability and durability was and how to fix things. Pretty early on, I'd made a decision that I was going to go to the university for an education in engineering and other types of design sciences. My very first big assignment showed up in a bag of parts, and it was a brown bag, and it had a bunch of parts that we had to figure out how to assemble those parts. So I got introduced to FANUC at that particular point in time. I had two engineers that came and joined us in this room, and we spread the parts out on the table. We sat down and figured out what was the sequence of operations for putting it together, what were the constraints, and what might work, what might not work. That project was fascinating, everything from design to build to installation in the plant. I had not considered a career in sales, and I was uncomfortable with it at first, but I thought it was an interesting opportunity. At first, the business was only with General Motors and General Motors clients. I wound up quickly having to go into business development and work with companies that were outside of the General Motors family. The challenge with going to non-automotive companies to talk about robots is everybody at that point in time thought that robots were a fad. They really didn't think robots could apply in their business. My career at KUKA was the most dynamic from a leadership and market diversity perspectives, which included aero, architecture, automotive, entertainment, and the introduction of the world's first collaborative robot. At Google, I had the broadest responsibilities of my career, including leading sales, local manufacturing, integration, and long-term support.
I'll never forget the phone call we had in January 2019 to start the Vectis Universal Robot cobalt welding relationship that ended up being a huge success and really created a new segment around cobalt welding that's so prolific today.
Your leadership and vision have been absolutely instrumental in VersaBuilt's success. You pushed the boundaries of robotics and inspired all of us with your dedication. This recognition is so well deserved.
I've been fortunate to have a lot of roles in the robotics industry, and none of those roles would be successful without being able to build great teams. And part of building great teams is to establish a shared vision amongst the people that are in the team about what does good look like, what does success look like, what does it feel like. So I've done what I could to help people find their way, and granted some of it's somewhat self-serving because I wanted to have a high-performing team. But the other thing is I discovered that the more you invest in people, the more you can help them build their capabilities and build their career, the payoff is there many times over, not just for the company, but for them and for others. I enjoy the work that we do at Shepherd Solutions. I enjoy the challenges that we see. I enjoy the diversity of the companies and the marketplaces that we get to work in. So the opportunities are limitless. The challenge is where do I add value? So as long as I can add value and be viable and useful in the marketplace, I'm going to keep doing it because I'm having fun.
As I watched Stu, I really learned a lot of key skills from him in my own career. I watched how the relationship building took place. I watched the kindness and the respect he treated both us and our customers with, and really developed a deep passion for his business and what he did. And I got to say, it was a really tough day when he decided to go become president of KUKA. Was one of the tougher days in our career because we knew that we were losing one of our key resources and one of the key aspects of our system integrator network. And I'm glad to see him back in Shepherd Solutions.
The association, even in the early days of the Robotics Industry Association, had a huge impact on my career. A number of the mentors that I had looked up to were actually members of the association, even members of the board of directors. I also met other leaders and other mentors from other business units and other types of companies within the RIA and learned from them. I find that whatever you give, you get back. So that's why I'm very engaged in the A3. It's been great for me, and I hope we've been great for other people that have gotten involved with the A3. And likewise, a lot of the people I've worked with over the years are friends for life. There's been a lot of challenges in my career. There's been lots of changes. There's been setbacks. There's been business changes, career changes. It goes back to if you do the right thing long enough, you hope that it actually pans out and things work. It kind of shows that it does, no matter how deep the hole may seem at the time, that if you keep doing the right things, then good things happen. I consider this a very good thing. I look at the other 140 leaders and winners that have gotten the Engelberger Award, and I'm shocked and flattered to be associated with them.
Great video. Everybody please join me in welcoming Stu Shepherd to the stage for some of his thoughts.
Good evening. So first of all, thank you, Lou, Don, and Jeff for joining us for this night. I'm thrilled to have you on stage with me. It's a real honor to have you here as well. And frankly, I appreciate everyone being here to share this moment for us. And congratulations to Dr. Corke on your outstanding achievements, contributions, and publications. Many of us have looked up to you from afar, and we're just thrilled to be able to meet you firsthand tonight. So thank you. The whole team of the Association for Advancing Automation and the A3 Trade Show Volunteer Committee, I'd like to offer my congratulations for a record-breaking and fantastic Automate 2025. I'm amazed and impressed with the many offerings presented by the exhibitors, and I'm certainly ready to come back tomorrow for more. I'm so grateful for this recognition and for whom it's named after. Over the years, I've learned the importance of Joseph Engelberger's work and the impact that he has had. Through working at the A3, I've learned the impact of the previous Engelberger Award winners as well. I'm deeply honored to have the opportunity to have worked with and been mentored by many of the winners that are here tonight and others that have achieved this award. I'm pleased to join their ranks and only hope that I can carry forward their legacy as they have before me. In recent years, I've also become very appreciative of Joe Engelberger's passion for developing the service robots industry and for helping the elderly, and for Gay Engelberger's work towards bringing the additional focus and the encouragement of women to join into the service robot industry to face the challenges of elder care. We need all hands on deck from all of us to bring forward these solutions. In fact, I believe that we owe it to our elders to improve the quality and comfort of their care and being a relief to their caregivers. I've learned firsthand from our own family how difficult aging and mobility is for us as we gain our age, and plus how hard the work is for those who care for them. Perhaps we in the robotics industry should work hard to develop a focus on both robotics and the construction industry to consider how we can work together to better prioritize our efforts towards enabling automation for solutions for the elderly. In fact, if we act fast now, we may even be the benefactors of that work. You're lucky, I only had 2 pages. For those of you who know me well, the deck of PowerPoints is typically pretty thick. So I'm grateful to have the many mentors and even past competitors who have been invested in me over the years and pushed me harder and have made me a lifelong learner. I appreciate their passion for the industry, the engagement of the A3, and I'm pleased to call you all my friends for life. Thank you for coming tonight for this moment. There are far too many people for me to thank who have mentored me, and I can't possibly do it by name and do it justice. I hate to miss anybody by accident. So with that in mind, I do want to recognize one person that many of you may know that at some point in time I wish would have gotten the award before this point. But I'd like to recommend or recognize Mr. Dave Potter of Fanuc Robotics, who's retired a few years ago, but believe it or not, I still meet with him about once a quarter, if not more often, and he still mentors me to this day. Many of us in this room have been mentored by Dave Potter, and many of us recall saying to ourselves, what would Dave do in this situation? How would he handle this? And he was a great mentor and continues to be. I'm thrilled that my son, Matt Shepherd, is here tonight with us and able to share this moment. Unfortunately, our daughter, Lexi, was unable to attend tonight. Both of them share this award through their many sacrifices that have been caused by relocations, my extensive travel schedule, and crazy work life. They and their spouses have taught me many life lessons through their compassion and dedication to uplifting others as well. Lastly, I'd like to recognize my number 1 mentor, my business partner, the mother of our children, and if she forgives me for tonight, my wife for 41 years as of June, Michelle Shepherd. She's the most organized and best educated person I've ever known. I would never have graduated from Purdue University and been able to do the things I've done without her intervention. She's been the leader of our family, and she's tougher than cancer. Our family even refers to her as the General. I would not have had the chance to achieve this award had it not been for her, her compassion and her support and her unconditional love. We refer to ourselves as Team Shepherd. So in honor of that, I'm accepting this award not in my name, but in the name of Team Shepherd. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, will you please join me in another round of applause for Peter Corke and Stu Shepherd. As we conclude tonight's ceremony, I want to take a moment to reflect on the importance of the Engelberger Awards. They're considered the Nobel Prize of Robotics because they honor people past and present who've played a crucial role in building the robotics industry. We've come a long way since the early days of robotics, and because of all the work that you're doing in this industry, I'm certain that we're just getting started in demonstrating how robotics can transform our world. I want to thank you, Lou and Don, and all of the past Engelberger Award winners who are in attendance tonight, and all of you for being here to help us celebrate them. I look forward to seeing you all again next year in Chicago for Automate 2026, which now has a high bar to hit. And I encourage you to nominate worthy industry leaders for next year's Engelberger Awards. You can do that by visiting automate.org. With that, I hope you'll enjoy the rest of the evening and tomorrow's final day at Automate. Thank you so much.